the one that there's rarely much to talk about. And I have to say it's pretty much the same for me today. Um, Looking at the weekly chart, we can see here it's all about the low, crash low in May. Weekly closes, we've had 3 breaks below, no weekly close below. So if you can handle the volatility, I wouldn't be selling if you own it until there's a weekly close below the May crash low, which is 607. On a daily chart, you can see that we did break the minor descending trend line here. But we really haven't accomplished anything since that 11% gain on July 21st. We moved sideways, zero impulsiveness, reluctance. And then looking at it on a shorter term frame, we moved into, you could say into a trading range now with the, spot, let's say 700 on the high and the May crash low of 607, I think it was. So that's your trading range, which is about 15%. It could be locked in there for a while. If you're a short-term trader, you can definitely play those levels off each other and get decent returns. Otherwise, I would just be patient and let this thing do what it's got to do until you get a daily close above this high, which is 698. Then you can start entertaining higher levels. Although I still would be reluctant until you get above the 50-day simple moving average. It's been, for the most part, since it came on the scene, it's been a downward pressure on price, and until we're above that on a closing basis, I assume that it's going to continue to be the case. And if we do get above there, then we can start looking at the descending trend line here of the parallel channel, and that comes in at about spot 846. Then above that, then we can start to look at some really substantial gains. It's one of those situations like a Ripple in that, it's got to get through a lot before bigger and more important gains can be accomplished. And it's just a bit of a mess in here. It's part of a long-term bottoming process, and that you just have to use the patience and get through it at this point. On the downside, any close below these lows here on a daily basis probably leaves Shiba exposed down to this lower line of the descending parallel channel, which comes in at about 438. And of course, below that, then we're in free territory to do anything. There's no real support that I can see on this chart, going with the data that's on this chart. That's all.
Okay. Right. For me, I feel like Shiba Inu has been disappointing because the support level between these two lines, which is around 654 and 624, should have worked as it has worked in the past. But right now we're seeing weakness around this level. Although a couple of times Shiba did break above it, but the inability of the buyers to sustain the price above these levels has led to a break below the support level again. So going forward, I'm expecting Shiba to either consolidate here or retest the range low, which comes around 517, right? And yeah, I think Shiba's kind of lost its charm. I see it coming down below this, and if we kind of see a lot of weakness around this level, the 420 level seems like a really good support to bounce off of, right? Which is the swing high formed around April 20th. As for the upside, it's like probably the 62 Fib if we kind of breach the 50 Fibonacci at 870. But I doubt that happening until and unless we see a flip of this particular zone and then a retest, which shows strength, and then move higher. But if you see that happening, I can see Shiba coming down to the 50 Fib, and then maybe expect a retest of the 62 Fib at 954 and the 70.5 at 101. Yeah, that's it for SHIB. Right now, it's really disappointing. It's like consolidating here. Nothing really
Yeah, it's
happening
been
for
a
SHIB.
an annoying, well, it's a normal bottoming process, but it has been frustrating. Like I've read, it's been like so many different patterns have shown up, and for the most part, the results have been they haven't triggered or they failed instantaneously. So it has been a tricky one to trade. I mean, there have been a couple of good spikes in there, but your timing had to be almost spot on to be able to participate in anything meaningful there.
Yeah, I think it's kind of consolidating here so that it can spike like it did here, here, and even this particular impulse move. I think we're gonna get that after we flip this and retest it, right? So nothing more than this for Shiba.